Welcome to another Friday Am I the Asshole episode, and shout out to Cece in our YouTube chat for this intro. Hi guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Reddit on Wiki starts now.
Therapy.
What's going on, Wikimaniacs? It's another Am I the Asshole Friday. Your host here today, Josh, joined with me, John and Sean. What's going on, boys?
Hello. Ooh, synchronized.
That was synchronized. You guys are on the same wavelength.
Yeah, due to that NBA trade that none of our fans want to hear about.
Yeah. Very prominent trade that included the Rockets and the Suns, both of your teams, which
We both benefit in some way.
Yeah, I think we're both happy with it.
I think you both lose in some ways too, though.
Do we? Look at this white man trying to separate us and bring us down.
I thought it was
No,
going to
we're
be
good.
more
2 minutes
controversial.
in, and he's already trying to splinter us.
No, but don't forget, this is your last few days to get the Gaycation merch until November. So be sure to go to redditonwikishop.com, get the Gaycation merch. Half of the proceeds are going to the Trevor Project.
Oh, yeah.
So you can look good, swag out with your Gaycation merch, and know that it's going to a good cause. Boys, is there anything we want to talk about before we hop into the stories today?
Well, let's see if this is our last episode before World War III.
Yeah, I do hope everyone, like all of our listeners, are doing well out there. News is heavy right now.
It's terrible.
So
it's terrible.
Hopefully we can give you an hour of distraction with some ridiculous stories. That's kind of what we're doing here today. So unfortunate with the news, but
The only war we should be fighting is the war on assholes, like what we'll do in this episode.
or thumb wars.
I'm saying the Holy War.
Sean, that was so good, buddy.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't even know why it was good.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
Sean.
Wow.
You
yeah.
didn't even do it on purpose.
No, it's a new year. I love puns now. Fuck it.
My guy.
Damn, does that mean I have to be the pun hater?
One of us has to be the healing.
Can't
agent.
be me. It can't be me.
That's true. All right, so let's move from that amazing pun. Thank you,
God
Sean,
damn it.
for
Fuck.
opening the show up with that.
I feel like you gotta do it for the rest of the episode.
Et
Oh my
tu,
god, that's your
Brute.
bit. Yeah.
I betrayed myself.
Et tu Butte, based on your puns.
Ooh.
And just like that, I'm out.
All right, so this first one here, cross-posted by our goat, Hop Into It. Cross-posted on our subreddit, r/Reddit on Wiki. The title for this one is, Am I Overreacting About My Parents' Bathroom Rules?
What do you have? 2 minutes to do all your business? Is that the rule?
Because John would not make it.
I would not make it. Absolutely not.
It takes him 2 minutes to get undressed.
It's true. I will say it depends if there is a lot of people living in your household and you don't have a lot of bathrooms to split within the house.
Yeah.
And if you just happen to take an hour when everyone else needs to get ready, I can kind of see where rules or certain guidances must be put in place. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you too, because you know me, I'll take a 20-minute pooper. I'll take a 40-minute shower. I'm not really worried about the time in there. But I will say, like, cleanliness. Like, if you're just, if OP is a dude and he's just fucking peeing all over the place and not wiping it up,
Oh, God.
you gotta do that. You can't just fucking pee everywhere. What is this? That's why I've always wondered, like, even though we can pee standing up, and it is better to stand up peeing,
Should we?
I ain't gonna lie, it's just much more comfortable sitting down. I don't give a fuck.
Should that be allowed? I feel like maybe morally it's not good.
That's fair. That's fair.
Unless it's a urinal. A urinal's fun because I like
A urinal,
I like to make it a game, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there's targets. I'm like, pew pew, shoot.
It's built for it.
What are you shooting at?
I just make imaginary targets in the urinal and I'm like, pow pow.
Oh,
You
I
know?
thought you were like standing like a meter back and then just firing at different urinals.
Wait a minute. Have you done that, John?
No.
I do remember in middle school there was a kid that was just like pee and then like he would step back to see how far he could get. I'd be like, what
That's
the
wild.
fuck is going on?
Poor janitors.
Crazy.
Yeah, my penis was too small to do that.
No comment.
All right, back on the story.
All right.
Let's get right back on it. Edit that part out, Josh.
No, I'm gonna leave that one in.
All right.
You could sit in that one.
Nobody else could sit on it. I'll tell you that.
All right. So my wife, 24 female, and I, 24 female, were supposed to be staying at my parents' house for the night on Thursday. My dad made a slightly jokey comment about how we weren't allowed to use the bathroom once they go to bed because any walking up and down the stairs would wake him up. I thought it was a joke until he started to argue his point again. Me being grown and married now, I see this as a major issue because I'm like, what? You expect me not to go to the bathroom from when you go to bed until you wake up? That's being unreasonable and mean. And when he said, no, it's not, that's how it worked before. Him referring to the time when it apparently worked before is, growing up, this rule was incorporated. They got to use the bathroom, though, as I've heard them go up and down the stairs many times as a child. They had a no drinks after 8 p.m. rule to kind of aid this bizarre rule. As my brother and I got older, though, into teenage years, they wouldn't enforce the no drinks as easily. Although my teenage years, I have messed up and weird memories of peeing in bottles or different containers and disposing of them the following day because I wasn't allowed to use the bathroom at nighttime. And I have a comically small bladder.
The way I would be pissing on the stairs. Because
yeah.
What you mean? Before I peed in a bottle, I would just piss everywhere.
Well, I would go up to the bathroom. I'm not in the bathroom. And then I would just pee all over the door.
I'm stomping on that bitch the whole time.
It's just insane to be like, you can't go to the bathroom no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
That is wild.
It's one thing to be like, hey, keep it down when you use the washroom. Like, don't be making a racket or whatever. That's fair. But to be like, you can't use it at all is insane. They go on to say, it's embarrassing and honestly shameful to look back on. But I remember anytime I'd attempt to sneak to the bathroom, he'd go crazy because I woke him up and he'd ignore me for like 2 days after. So now my wife and I have the displeasure of engaging in this weird ritual because she lived with us when we first got together. But we moved on now and it's been years since we've had to stay the night. Then here comes Thursday. Am I overreacting for calling him out on it and leaving instead of agreeing to participate in this weird rule as an adult?
No. I will say this. I'm glad you left. Because like borderline, this sounds like child abuse, right?
Oh, yeah.
Big time. You're peeing in bottles? That seems abusive. Not good.
Well, and you can get like
UTIs, infections.
Yeah.
I just feel like, would it kill your dad to maybe put some fucking earplugs in? Or, I mean, I don't know. Or let them use is there not a downstairs restroom? That seems wildly bad home design.
Plumbing design, yeah.
I mean, definitely there are many rooms or many houses with just one bathroom. I only have one bathroom technically.
Yeah, I just feel like you can't. That's just I'm all for house rules. I feel like this podcast is pretty usually house rules are the rules, but not when it's when you're causing people to get sick. I feel like this crosses the line for sure.
Yeah, I'm with Sean. I was gonna go to that point too. That usually we're kind of supporters. Oh, it's their house, their rules. But sometimes the rules where it restricts someone from using facilities to, take care of natural bodily functions, that's should be illegal, in some way. Because
it is probably.
Yeah, you can't control. Sometimes you can't control, when you need to go. What if nature calls? What if the dad needs to take a dump in the middle of the night, bro? Like, are you gonna follow your own rules? So
no, he's already not. She said that she's heard them go to the washroom at night.
There you go. So it's like, well, I don't understand like why this is such a thing. Well, I don't know. I just hope OP is like I hope they get checked first of all, because I don't want them finding out later down the line where them growing up because they weren't able to use bathrooms and they had to hold in or pee or whatever, that there might be some budding issues going down the line. So that's the only concern that I would have for OP at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound like they're fine, like they are adults and living on their own now,
Yeah.
so they're probably okay. But yeah, I agree with you guys 100%. I think not overreacting because, just insane to put your children through that. And like I said, I get like not wanting to be woken up from using the washroom, but like you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're controlling it. Like, what if they have diarrhea or have to throw up or, I mean, like any of those things. It's like for him to get weirdly upset about that and then not talk to you for 2 days, that is child abuse in my estimation. So, your dad's a piece of shit. And I'm glad out of there as an adult. I'm sorry you had to go through that as a teenager, but and a child, but that's insane.
I just can't fathom ever peeing in a bottle for, I would just be all over the stairs.
Yeah.
I mean, I would try what John said and just stomp up the stairs and pee, but then after getting yelled at, I'd probably just fucking, all right, what do you want me to do? I'd piss everywhere.
Reddit deemed not overreacting. I almost said not the asshole, but same thing, I guess. And Runs Revenge said, not overreacting. I get not wanting to be woken up, but this is not okay. First of all, asking children and then teens to hold their bladder based on your schedule is manipulative and selfish as hell. It's unhealthy and honestly unfair to expect a child to hold it in all night. Following that, asking an adult to not use the washroom all night is just ludicrous. As someone with Crohn's disease who needs to know where the bathroom is at all times, this is genuinely an awful thing to expect of someone, nonetheless your own child, which I think is explicitly dissects it and just like couldn't imagine staying at their house. Like I went to the bathroom last night at like 5 a.m.
It's one of the most basic freaking right as a human to let go of things inside your body, right?
Literally.
Who would have thought that would have been a controversial thing in someone's household? That shit is crazy to me.
And like I have a hard time sleeping if I have to go to pee or anything like that. If I even think I have to, I'm like,
you look at our boy, every 40 minutes he has to go.
Yeah. Sean would die.
He would hate this. He would fight this dad for sure.
He would.
Literally peeing everywhere. I would not.
You want to go to the shower, bitch? You won't let me go.
I'd be marking my territory.
Yeah. The whole place is smelling like piss.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. This one's also cross-posted by one of our other goats, Writing Giraffe. Title for this one is, Am I the asshole for not reheating dinner for my husband after 10 p.m.?
I mean,
he can
heat up his own damn meal. And did your husband, if you are the type of wife that likes to do that, like, as an act of love for your significant other, did they communicate with you that you're going to be home late, or they just kind of stood you up and said, I'm not going to tell you where I am, but I will be home at a certain time or whatever. So not the asshole.
Yeah.
Heat up your own shit.
All right. I became a stay-at-home mom recently. It's a decision that me and my husband agreed upon. However, I have set limits on how much I'm required to do and for how long, because I feel like even though I'm a wife and a mother, I'm still a woman who needs time and space to look after myself. 100% agree.
Yep.
I can't take care of my family when I can't take care of myself. So I told my husband that at 10 p.m. I'm done with chores and that he shouldn't expect me to do anything after that. And he was like, yeah, whatever you say. Last night he had to work a long shift and came home at 10:15. I was in the bathroom applying a face mask when he came and asked that I reheat dinner. I said no, and he asked why not. I told him to check his watch and he would know. He paused, then laughed and said I was being ridiculous.
See, all the time that this whole conversation is happening, you could have just fucking hit
been
1 minute on the microwave.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
You know what you could have done? You could have started chatting it up with your wife while reheating your own damn meal and say, how was your day, darling? And they can have a conversation with you. What the fuck, brother?
It's literally like what, 3 buttons max to hit the max and start with 2. Yeah, it's crazy. I said we had an agreement, but he argued that I was acting manipulative and selfish. We started verbally fighting, and then he ended up texting his mom and telling her what I'd done, or didn't do for that matter. She started texting me, basically lecturing me about how selfish and petty I was, and said I was setting a bad example for my daughter and teaching her to become self-centered and selfish. I decided I wasn't going to talk to her, and my husband has refused to even stay at home and went to a friend's house. I feel horrible. Maybe I should have done this to make a point. Maybe I shouldn't have done this to make a point, but we had an agreement. Am I the asshole?
You know damn well your friend ain't gonna heat up your shit after 10:15 at night, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Okay, so I mean, I agree with everything you guys said during the story, but it's also like, okay, so he worked all day, you know what I mean? Like, wasn't there at all. So presumably, she's at home doing all the chores, dinner, taking care of the children, like the kid, all by herself up until 10:15 when he came home. Like, So you're both working a full shift. You can take care of your own dinner. She took care of hers and your child's, presumably.
She
So it's
cooked
like-
your dinner. All
Yeah,
you
cooked
literally
it.
have to do is reheat it.
And y'all agreed what the role is gonna be in the house. And I
Yes.
bet you it's just one of those things where like, oh yeah, just shut up. I got you, blah 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 type of shit.
Well, and then for him to text his mom.
What?
It's such
Tell
a
his
thing.
ass to move back to his mama's house.
Bitch
And
made.
tell that stupid ass like mom too. Be like, okay, buddy, what the fuck are you talking? Setting a bad example for my daughter.
Yeah.
If anything, she's teaching the daughter like, hey, I'm telling you, this is how you set boundaries, and I'm enforcing my goddamn boundaries.
This is how you set boundaries. This is how you be a person of your word, words
Yeah.
bond,
Exactly.
responsibilities, a bunch of shit. You're being a really good role model, actually.
I think so too. And it's just like for the mom to call her selfish and self-centered, it's like your husband or your son couldn't fucking hit 2 buttons on a microwave to reheat his own
Mhm.
goddamn dinner. Who's the real selfish one here?
Or if he wanted to still be in the limit of the time that she has, the dumbass could have been like, hey, I'm gonna be home at 10:15. Before 10 o'clock, would you mind getting some stuff ready for me? That'd be great. I'd
Sure.
appreciate that. That could have been done too. You
Yeah.
know, if
Yeah,
that's what's part of their agreement. But this fool's just straight up, hey, I know you're like ready to go to bed. I know you just had a long day, but please heat up my shit. Brother, fucking pick something up on your way home or heat up your own damn food.
Yeah.
I
It's
think like
fucking insane.
expecting your partner to make you your plate is so, I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it's dumb. Like, I get it. It's like part of some cultures, but like, I don't know. It's just the patriarchy, I think. You know what I mean? Like, you can make your own plate. It's not hard to make a plate,
for sure.
especially in your own home.
Mhm.
And when it's already made,
Yeah.
you just have to reheat it.
I know
Yeah.
I'm just spoiled. There's always something waiting for me, to be honest.
I always make Sienna dinner too, so it's like, but that's
But to expect it. I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, I would never blow a gasket if there's nothing there. Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
then I guess I'll go out and get something. That's simple, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. It's just like,
Yeah.
all right, if you found it wasn't there, fucking reheat it yourself or fucking DoorDash some shit. You
Yeah.
agreed on a thing
Or make
Mhm.
craft dinner. Like,
because it's just
Something.
why start a fight? It's not worth it.
no.
And now you're sleeping in somebody else's bed, not comfortable, fighting with your wife, crying to your mom like a bitch. It's just, was it worth it? I don't think so, brother. Just hit 2 buttons.
Yeah.
You know what you can heat up in 2 minutes? I'm just kidding.
Perfect
Our
segue.
sponsor. Ooh.
Oh,
So Reddit deemed not the asshole, and Classic Cauliflower 4 said, text his mom and ask her why she never taught her son how to use a friggin' microwave. My
Mhm.
7-year-old could cook herself food. Why can't this supposed grown-ass man? So what Winter Rest responded, said, text his mom and say daycare is closed and all the babies need to be picked up, or there will be a late fee applied. Because the fuck you mean a grown man can't put his dinner on a plate, put the plate in the microwave and start it?
Yup.
So he got his ass flamed in the comments.
rightfully
As
so.
he should.
Rightfully so, 100%. All right, let's move on to the next story here, posted by Laundry Lower Score Noise.
Mm.
And the title is, Am I the asshole for just liking my coffee the way I like it?
That's your preference, and that should be okay. Although I will say, me and Juliet were talking about this because you know how we stayed over at my in-laws' house, and it's a pattern that we've seen with a lot of like older Filipinos in general. They, for some reason, a lot of them like their coffee or tea scalding freaking hot,
Oh, really?
and I'm like, first of all, I'm a bitch when it comes to holding hot stuff, so I was like, oh, this cup is a little hot, dear. I was like, oh shit. And I put it like kind of by my lips. I'm like, ouchie, that's kind of hot. But I don't know. I'm used to like
This
steeping
man
my
was
tea.
deployed in war-torn countries.
I was in the Air Force, okay? You know how pampered we were. But yeah, I was just like, man, why is this shit fucking hella scalding hot? I don't know. My uncles are the same. Like a lot of people are like back home in the Philippines too. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of like my tea and hot drinks a certain perfect temperature. But anyways,
That's
just
funny
me.
because I'm Sienna's temperature tester for her tea. She'll be like, try my
Oh,
tea
same.
if it's good to And so like sometimes it's way too hot and I just burn the top of my mouth. I'm like, nope, not yet.
So I have those kettles, you know, with the actual temperature on it, so I kind of know already.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Chris was telling me like the best to know if a coffee place makes good coffee. One of the factors is if they serve it to you and you can like drink it right away.
Mhm.
If you can't drink it right away, it's a bad shop, is what he
Interesting.
says.
You see what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Like, you should be able to, as soon as you're handed the cup, you should be able to take a sip.
Yeah, because then you know I feel like the super heat of it like makes it more acidic, in my opinion, and it just tastes sour for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That
Yeah,
could be
you're new to liking coffee in general at all. So
No, I mean, I used to, but then it has to be a certain type of bean, 85 points and up.
Jesus Christ.
Just saying.
I'm like, give me my black sludge and let me drink it.
yeah,
If you give me instant, I'll probably slap you.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Let's get into the story here. So I live near a coffee shop that operates from a cart. They are a tiny shop with usually one, but sometimes two people working it. Their cart is on the property of a restaurant that is owned, and it is owned by the same restaurant, but it's slightly different. And I'm not a fan of the restaurant, but the cart coffee is honestly some of the best I've ever tasted. They run from 8 till 3, so it usually suits me when I come around 2:50 to 3, but occasionally much, much earlier. Today I came just at 3 and saw the barista was serving, so I hopped in the queue with a group of women following behind me.
Asshole already to me.
Yeah.
I fucking hate people like this. I hate people like this so much.
Bro, I don't pull up to a restaurant if I'm like within 30 minutes of closing.
Same.
Yeah.
By then, I'm like, I'm going to
They
be
gotta
a
clean up.
real
They gotta go
asshole.
home. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't do it.
I mean, I get it if you're like ending a shift and you're like nothing else and you got to get there, but like he's consistently doing this, it sounds
Mhm.
like. So
Yeah, it
I-
sounds like based on the title of this, he's going to have a real complicated ass order.
Mm.
I'm like, oh man, I'm pissed off for the barista already.
Mm-hmm.
As she started steaming the person in front of me's drink, she announced to the queue that they could order the coffee from the restaurant because the cafe was no longer serving past 3. Bear in mind, it's 3:01-ish, and I had probably been in queue right at 3, if not a few seconds before.
No.
Absolutely not.
Let me preface by saying the restaurant's coffee is just not good. They say it's the same, but it's made by the waitstaff, not the baristas. And it really isn't what I'm there for. I'm also very health conscious and was mindful of going into a restaurant during a pandemic just to order a coffee. By the way, this was a few years ago. The women behind me must not mind because they went to the restaurant.
I think they're just good people, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
But I figured I'd ask for my usual. The barista turned around to finish serving the person ahead of me and didn't even look at me. Bear in mind, I know her since I come here a lot.
It's because you're coming there every day at 2:50 at
Ruining
3.
their damn day.
They're like, yeah, you're a regular piece of shit.
Mhm.
I fucking hate seeing your face.
She knows my usual, always smiles and chats, and I've even asked her for some treats as she was locking up once.
You need to be giving her treats for being so late all the time.
And she said she had wrapped them up for the night a while ago, but was extremely apologetic and remembers to offer me treats every time. When the person left, she finally looked at me. I ordered my usual, and she repeated, "I'll just ask if you could order inside since I've got to close up here." I asked if she'd make an exception since I'm COVID conscious, and she said just this once, but seemed off.
Nope.
Yeah.
I thanked her again for serving me, and she said no worries, but as she was closing up, I was sitting there in the outdoor area on my laptop, and she would not look or smile at me as she usually does, and was barely looking at my direction.
Oh my God. This is a where's my hug at kind of guy.
Yeah.
Even though it was like 3:05 by the time she made my order. 2 minutes later than if I hadn't ordered it.
Oh, you piece of shit.
I know what people are going to say to a place at closing time, but I was in queue just in time. I think she would have happily made an exception for me if it weren't for the group behind me and only asked us all to go because there were 3 or 4 of them. And I'm just wondering if I'm missing something.
It's crazy
No,
to
you're not.
type that knowing that you feel the bad vibes and you're like, it's clearly not me. It can't be.
I'm wondering if I'm missing something because she acted happy to serve me 1 minute, but then colder than usual. So am I the asshole?
Absolutely. I feel like we said a lot already
did, yeah.
during
Yeah.
this. I just like Sean, this is absolutely one of my pet peeves when it comes to like restaurants because I feel like a lot of people working closing, especially, gets like shitted on so many times because of this. I'm like, dude, I get it. Yes, business says like they close at 9, but motherfucker, they probably want to like get their day ended around like 8:30, or at least prepping to close so they can leave at 9.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's, yes, that might be like what the business hours are, but I think people just need to take a step back and say, all right, well, if I really want to get something, yes, there might be circumstances where like, oh shit, well, I can't come here any sooner. You got to make time to get something that you really want and not inconvenience other people. So yeah, fucking douchebag. I can't stand this. I can't stand people like this in general, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Maybe one time in college when I didn't understand the service like line, like I went to a boba place and they were like closing in 20 minutes and they were like, nah, no can do. And I was like, you fuckers. And then like I thought of like, I had friends in the service industry who were like, no, I mean, that's pretty standard. And then like ever since then, I've been like, okay, yeah, 30 minutes before is probably shithead territory. And I'll just avoid. Because like, honestly, are you telling me there's not another coffee cart?
Yeah.
Or you can't just fucking get it during your lunch break?
Or even like this one day, go into the restaurant and get the coffee, even if it's not as good.
Well, the thing is, he's coming. Or they're coming. I don't know. They're coming every day at 2:50 to 3.
That's true.
They're coming on a dot. You know,
this is fucking crazy. I mean, by the third day, as the barista, I'd probably be like, "Look, dude. I mean, you are being such a fucking dick."
Yeah.
And here's another thing too, especially the timing of this specific story. They said that there were, COVID conscious. Okay, so you're gonna risk exposure just to get coffee. If I don't know, I feel like that would have been the perfect time to learn how to make something.
COVID doesn't exist outdoors. That's
true.
I guess.
Not my medical advice, guys. Don't listen. I'm saying that's what this guy's thought was.
Stamp it. That's Sean approved.
Fuck it. Fred's already on his way.
That's SFK talking to you guys.
But yeah, as someone who worked I worked in like a pita pit when I was in college, and I had an issue where, because I took the bus quite often, and so there was like a perfect time if I could get off, I'd catch the next bus. But if I didn't, I'd be waiting for like half an hour for the next bus.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So like that could be the case here, where it's just like, yeah, maybe they've got like to go pick up their child, or they got to get home, or they got to get to their next job, or their like next shift or something like that. Or like maybe their company is just really shitty, doesn't pay overtime, or just really like strict about that shit. And so they're maybe not getting paid to even make your coffee, which is like super shitty. So yeah, as someone who's worked in the service industry, you're an asshole.
Also wild that you're coming late every day and then being like, give me treats.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, if you don't fucking tip really well,
shit. Yeah.
That's not only are you coming late, you're fucking begging for fucking scraps, you bastard.
What a piece of
That's
shit.
gotta be give me treats.
Give me treats.
I do hate that he calls it that too.
I want my treat.
Oh,
Shut your bitch ass up.
Fred about to make something for you.
He needs to chill, Fred. This is my formal request to chill.
Fred a deemed asshole, and G4 said, you're the asshole, and then quotes, we're closing so you have to go elsewhere, means they're closing so you'll have to go elsewhere. This has nothing to do with how you like your coffee made, and everything to do with feeling entitled to the rules not applying to you. You try to get around this by saying, well, I got in queue right at closing time, which is also an asshole move.
Yes.
And as many in the comments said, yeah, your title is fucking stupid. It has nothing to do with the actual story.
Yeah. I thought he was going to have a complicated order and make this even worse than it already was. But it sounds like he's just ordering, I don't know, something basic that you could get literally anywhere.
Like the title implies that he's like, was my order too complicated for her? Maybe that's what it's like, no, you fucker. Oh, crazy.
Glad Reddit roasted him.
Yeah, me too. Come on, John, what do you got to say? Spill the beans. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
All right, next story.
Okay. Speaking of war, this is about to be a PTSD meme for Sean. Holy.
All right. Next one is cross-posted by another goat Solid Ashford.
Oh yeah.
And this one is titled, Am I the asshole for leaving my sister's wedding, but keeping the bribe I was paid to attend?
Hell no, keep the bribe, bro. Hold on. This is going to be some juicy shit. I'm going not the asshole for the sake of pettiness and getting paid, baby.
Oh, yeah.
This is crazy, but I gotta imagine that they did something awful for you to even need to be bribed to come. So I'll go not the asshole.
I got no principles, so if you bribe me, especially for a good old fun like this where it can create drama, shit, I'll do it.
I will say trigger warning for homophobia.
Oh no.
They don't get into super details, but it is relevant to the story. So just a heads
sorry
up.
for making it a trivial guess for this one.
Well, it's not like you could have known.
Oh, that's true.
All right. So my 30s female brother is an asshole and has made my life hell since I can remember. I gray rocked him as soon as I understood the concept and have been no contact with him since he moved out of my parents' house.
Gray rock?
What does that mean?
I have not heard that term.
Let's look it up.
I should have looked it up if I was a better podcaster.
Go ahead.
No,
Brother.
yeah,
I'll look
keep
it
going. John's got it.
Okay. John's on the case. My sister was getting married. I checked to see if he was invited, and he was. I RSVP'd my regrets, and my sister and parents came to talk to me about attending, and I said, fuck no. They promised that he would be on his best behavior, and I said no. They continued to beg, and I continued to say no. They asked if there was anything they could do to convince me to go, and I said that if they gave me $1,000 each, that I would return if he left me alone.
Hell yeah.
They said
Hell
no,
yeah.
and I said, have a good day. They then came back with $2,000 in an envelope. I was at the wedding venue with my wife talking to my parents when my brother arrived. He came right over and called me a slur for a homosexual. My dad's heart just dropped. I took my wife's hand and we went out for a night paid out by my parents and sister.
I mean,
hell yeah.
I'll let someone fucking call me slurs for $2,000 in 2 seconds, to be honest.
We get called slurs for free.
For free.
Jesus. We were already dressed up, so we had a fancy night out with our phones
Hell
off.
yeah.
My parents and sister are furious at my brother. He's mad because my dad told him that he's a child that can't control himself. And my brother is mad at me for being a baby and not being able to take a joke.
Not a joke.
No.
Not a joke.
It's a
Absolutely
slur.
not. Yup.
I really don't care. 2,000 isn't a lot of money, but it's enough to sting. Now maybe they will listen to say when I say I don't want to be around him.
Would love $2,000 though, if I'm
Same.
being quite honest.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
that is a lot.
It's enough to sting for sure.
Yeah, that covers rent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a good night out. A really good night out.
I mean, how good of
Really?
a night? I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could spend, what would I spend $2,000 on in one
On
night?
a night?
Easy.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
We're
well,
in
John is
different
used to that
tax
life. We are.
brackets.
I don't even know what I would do.
I'm like, I could spend a couple $100 at a restaurant, I guess. But
Food's easy.
I don't even know if I could spend 1,000.
Easy.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. So my mom is mad at me for taking the money. She seems to think I was being paid out to put up with his abuse. I've tried to explain that it was more of a bond on his behavior. She won't listen. So am I the asshole for taking the money and leaving?
Before we get into that, can I define what gray rock is?
Yes, please.
Yeah, because so gray rocking, according to, and people, I just Googled shit, right? First thing I saw. Medical News Today put gray rocking or the gray rock method is a tactic some people use to deal with abusive or manipulative behavior. It involves becoming as uninteresting and unengaged as possible so that the other person loses interest.
Okay.
So that's, hopefully that's a correct, definition. Wikimaniacs, let us know if that's, accurate. But man, not the asshole at all, bro. Like, you already, OP was already kind of setting in things like, hey, you know what? My brother's been an asshole to me my whole entire life. Yes, it happens to be his happiest day, but am I happy for the bastard?
But it's not
Hell
even
no.
him.
It's not his day.
It's not even
The
his
sisters.
Day. It's the sisters' day.
Sisters.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like I don't want to be around that fucker. Like he's tormented me all my life. Why am I gonna ruin my night being with someone that I can't stand? So yeah, by all means, bribe me to get in here. And they're just like, oh no, blah blah. But they gave the 2,000 immediately when they got to the venue or the wedding. The first thing the brother does, say some
Seconds.
really bad slur.
Yeah.
Within
crazy.
seconds, I would have got the fuck out too. Like, I mean, I make joke about it. Yes, I will take insults for like a couple thousand, like in like a couple seconds. I will also leave right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing was your request was $3,000 and he'll leave you alone.
I think it was 1,000 each.
Per parent, right?
Yeah.
And sister, I thought.
Oh, well, I think they only did like parents. I don't know if they asked the sister to do it.
Oh, okay. Just the way that the sentence before was worded.
That's fair. That's fair. It was a little confusing, but the clause "if he left me alone" was also in there.
Yeah,
So you're correct on that. Yeah.
Sounds like y'all should have had a meeting with him.
I
You
know,
know what
right?
I mean? You really should have been like, look, you can't say shit. And then as soon as he does, I mean, the rules were broken. So what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. Yeah, because you're not getting paid $2,000 to put up with it. It's $2,000 and he leaves me alone. So it's just like, oh, he didn't do that. I am no longer obligated to be here. See ya. And it's just so fucking obvious. But yeah, Red Deem, not the asshole.
Good.
Electric Hurricane 321 said, I'd look at the 2,000 like a security deposit on an apartment/house rental. You don't trash the place, you get the money back. And OP's brother is trash, so the family didn't get their deposit back. Simple enough.
I will say this. Even if the brother was good, they were not getting that money
Giving
back.
that bitch.
They were never getting that money back.
No,
Unless the son is now paying for it because he fucked it up.
Yeah.
Nah, that's what you call earnest money, baby. That's not renting anymore.
Yeah.
That's getting a property.
And Domi Haney said, not gonna lie, I find it hilarious that he did it immediately. I don't condone the behavior, but the 0 to 100 is impressive.
That does make it quite easy for you to.
Yeah, you're just like, oh,
sick, dude. I thought I had to be here for like 3 to 4 hours. I'm fucking 10 minutes. I'm out.
I'm out of here. And then Dragon Celiac, whatever, replied to that comment and said, at least he was quote unquote kind enough to do it early and in front of your dad. That way OP still had plenty of time to write their evening by going out with their wife, and the dad knew exactly why. So
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, you had a witness to the crime.
Exactly, and he can't come back.
Was the mom kind of pissy? Was that what happened?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I can't imagine why.
I don't know why they'd be pissy. I mean, probably losing 1,000, but come on, you have a dickhead of a son.
Yeah, you're pissed at the wrong person. You raised a bigoted piece of shit. Crazy. All right, let's move on to the second last one, and this one has some updates to it.
Ooh,
let's get it.
This one was posted by Potential Mammoth 673. Title is, Am I the asshole for saying no to my friend for the art they gave me?
Is it a tasteful nude of your friend? Because then I probably also would be like, no, thank you.
What if it was me, Sean?
Oh, yeah, I'm hanging that above the fireplace.
Nate's like, I don't want this in my house.
I'm sorry. When you get something that's fine and beautiful.
Hanging in the ceiling, so it's the first thing I see when I wake up in the morning.
Oh, yeah, right above my bed.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like, rise and shine.
Wow.
Look at that beautiful werewolf. Oh, it's so sexy.
Oh,
Lupin.
Jesus. All right. So about 10 months ago, and also just to add, in the actual story, they didn't give any of their friends' names, so I did it for them. Because it got very confusing at some points.
Is it like letters? Because those always confuse me.
Yeah, I think we should probably also start just giving people that do letters names.
I'm using Kevin for everything, not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
What if they're evil?
Damn, you're right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Never mind.
All right, so about 10 months ago, my friend, let's call them Logan, gave me 3 little artwork pieces that they thought were really ugly and they hated. I absolutely adore them, and I think they're very pretty, so I have them in my living room, and so I redecorated my living room and rearranged everything so I could have these paintings in a very specific spot. One day they were over, and one of my friends, let's call them Spencer, they had yet to meet, was over that day as well. Spencer looked up the art pieces through Google Lens because they also liked them and wanted to get them some for themselves. Spencer found out that the artwork that was given to me was worth $1,000 per piece. I said, wow, that's an insane price. So Logan, who gave me the art pieces, told me I needed to give them back to him. And he started taking them off my wall. I said, absolutely not. You gave me those.
No takesies, backsies, bitch.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He started yelling at me because I wouldn't give them back. Then he said I better pay him $3,000 for all of them. And I said, no, because you gifted them to me almost a year ago.
Yeah.
So he told me he was going to call the police and he left because me and Spencer kicked him out. So am I the asshole for keeping them?
Nah, brother, you got gifted those things.
I think when you give something, you're giving it away.
Yes.
I gotta agree with Sean.
You're giving away the, who's in possession of it. Also, possession is 3/4 of the law. I don't know how true that is, but people say it a lot on TV.
I have heard that a lot. I just don't actually know.
I don't know how true it is. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a gift. It's given to you. It's been a whole fucking year. There's no chance this guy's getting it back.
Mm-hmm.
Reddit deemed not the asshole. Limp Idea 605 said, not the asshole. Where did Logan get them from? Sounds like he wasn't aware they were valuable. To which OP responds and said they were gifted to him the same month he gave them to me. So he got them gifted as well.
So he's just a bad, he has bad taste. He's like, these shits are ugly.
I mean, not gonna lie, a lot of the art are fucking ugly and they're hella expensive in my opinion.
That's fair.
But also, like, to Logan's own rule, he would have to give them back to the person who gifted him them originally. You know what I mean?
True.
So it's like,
so then, yeah, he'd have to give them $3,000.
Yeah, and I have no doubt in my mind he would not do that.
Yeah. Also, art's also subjective, kind of like what we see in this story. Oh, the friend didn't like what they got, gave it to the friend, like, oh man, I think these are cool.
Yeah. So then there's another comment here that I don't agree with, but I'm reading it because OP does respond to them, and it gives a bit more context. So TrueKind4398 says, everyone sucks, really. If this was me, my initial reaction would be to ask if they wanted the pieces back, or maybe only one of them if I wasn't in a generous mood. I know they wouldn't have gifted it to me had they known the value, which is fair enough and an honest mistake. No takesies backsies feel kind of snide. But if I was the friend, my initial reaction would be to call you a jammy bastard and move on, not demand everything back. Reading this just feels like two friends who are bent over possession / money to cut each other some slack. So I don't agree with that. I think I think one friend's being a piece of shit and the other person is like, no, this is a gift. You're like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not selling them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm keeping them.
Honestly, if that was me in a situation, I would go to the condition of like, all right, well, then if I have to give this back, which let's say, there's monetary involved, maybe you should give it back to your other friends who like what Josh suggested. I don't know, but that's just me.
Yeah. So OP did respond to that comment and said, the thing is, I really love these art pieces and they were gifted to me. I changed a bunch of my furniture to match these art pieces, and my whole entire living room is basically centered around them. I also gave him my $2,000 couch because I wanted to downgrade the size. I wouldn't even think about asking it back because I gave it to him.
Yeah, it's kind of almost equal monetarily.
Is it gifting or is this bartering that you guys are doing at this point?
Well, it sounds like OP gave it to them just because like they were getting a new couch to match the art pieces, and they're just like, well, it's only fair. So I don't know. So there are some updates here. Update 1. So funny thing happened. Spencer also looked up something they gave me and realized the price of it. So both of these friends are wanting their stuff back. So today I'm just planning on giving them the art pieces and the other items that they both have given me over the past years. It's really disheartening to have to go through this, but dealing with this drama is worse than just redoing my living room and getting rid of the things that they gave me back to them. Spencer said that they were just lending me the items, even though I have written proof that they were given to me. So both friends are going to be acquaintances from now on. Life is weird. So not a great update. But on to the second update.
Okay.
Another funny thing has kind of happened. Both of them met up to go hang out because they both made me the common enemy. I did give back the things to Spencer. I do still have the art week pieces due to me giving Logan a couch around the same time that was worth $2,000. The artwork is being appraised currently. One of my siblings knows someone that appraises artwork. She came and grabbed the pieces at 11 a.m. today. For some reason, I feel that this art is not going to be worth $3,000 in total. Honestly, life isn't worth the stress, so I'm just going to take it as a loss and move forward. And update 3, they have been appraised. And this is the part that's actually funny. So the relative of Logan is the one who made them. The relative copied a style from a different artist and recreated the pieces. The relative signed the back, and when the person who appraised the artwork told me the artist's name, I laugh because that's Logan's relative. I let my now ex-friend know that their relative created the pieces for them. I told him since they were just made by his relative, I would happily give them back to him. After I said that, Logan said I could just throw them away because he didn't want them anymore. Since they had no value money-wise to them, I did not care. So technically, I have 3 art pieces that are priceless. Anyway, I thanked their relative for creating these pieces because without these pieces, I would have never known the type of people I was friends with. So that is the end. Yeah. A lot of hoops for something that was actually worth nothing. And you found out 2 of your friends were money-hungry douchebags.
I guess.
Man, what a bummer.
Yeah, that's a tough one. All right, last one here before we hit the Patreon. If you want, join our Patreon at patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network. We're going to be doing 2 more stories. If you want, you can also click join on our YouTube channel and join that way as well. With that being said, last one here posted by Key Complete 4809. And we've got another server one.
Ooh.
So, am I the asshole for tipping 83 cents?
That's wild.
It's like, just don't, right? Just don't tip at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'd be more offended at the 83 cents.
Yeah.
Just looking at it being like, I would have rather nothing, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have nothing because then it's like, all right, this guy's just cheap. But then the other one feels like cheap and kind of like a slap in the face. I don't know.
Didn't we have a story in the past where they didn't tip them because the server was racist or something like that?
We did have one like that, yeah.
There's a chance of that.
I might go with that route.
Okay, this server is racist, is John's guess.
Gave me scorching hot coffee. What the
It's
fuck?
not a 0% chance.
There is not a 0. You're right, yeah. All right, so I went out to dinner last night with my wife. When the bill came, I gave the waitress my card, and she came back shortly after looking upset. She slapped the card down on the table and said, "Declined."
Oh.
Decline, you broke bitch.
I thought her tone and brevity was rude. I took out a different card from my wallet and handed it to her. While I was putting the first card in my wallet, she didn't move. I looked at her and said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "If I go back and try to run this, are you going to still be sitting here when I get back?"
What the fuck?
I asked her if she thought her tone was appropriate for speaking to customers, and she said, "You're only a customer if you pay." Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
Oh, she's really working to not get a tip. So, yeah, a slap in the face, I think, is fine.
I asked to speak to her manager. She then left with my card. My wife said maybe the waitress had encountered scammers before and was anxious about it. I said being rude and being cautious are 2 different things. The waitress returned with my card and the slip to fill out. She said, "This one worked. I'm sorry." I thanked her and took the booklet. Our bill was $91.17, and I wrote 83 cents as the tip and 92 as the total. I handed it back to her and started to get up to leave. She said, "You're really not going to tip me?" I said, "No, you were rude to me." She said, "I have to tip out the bartender and the busboy. I just paid money to serve you." I said, "Well, maybe in the future you shouldn't be so rude." My wife thinks I was an asshole to the waitress and should have at least given her $10 because it was an honest misunderstanding.
I don't think it was an honest misunderstanding.
That shit was loud as hell.
That was crazy. The attitude was crazy.
I would have given her $28.83 if she wasn't rude to me, but I don't want to pay to be insulted. For the record, I called my bank and the card was flagged for fraud because of a pending $1 charge that is often associated with fraud attempts, and I've resolved this. So was I the asshole?
I say nah.
Yeah, I understand because of the situation that happened. They were clearly rude and loud to you. The first time that could have, to me, if it was like loud like that, the first time around where it's like a decline, I would have been embarrassed. I was like, all right, chill. You probably get 15% from me. Like, like at the very least. But the second part was like, are you going to be here when I come back?
Kept going with it.
And I'm just like, bitch, what are you talking about? If I was in this situation, when they did say that they were going to need to pay out like the busboy and like the bartender, I personally would have gone to the manager and say like, hey, I still want to put some sort of gratuity, but I want it to go directly to these these people
Oh,
or
that's
like
fair,
you know
yeah.
those workers. That's probably the extra step I would have taken. It's hard to call OP the asshole in this situation because the service they got was, you know,
Terrible.
Yeah.
terrible, and it's not even that. And depending too on like the situation as well. It's like this could be construed as like, you know, like, oh, it's just because like let's say they did get scammed by like other are you profiling me now at this point, which
Right.
I don't appreciate. So I'm gonna go not the asshole for this one.
Yeah, I'm on that side because it's just like there's so many. I don't know how many times it's just like my card randomly declines. It's like
Yeah.
It's also
I don't
can
know
be
why.
machine error.
Yeah,
You know, that's
it's like-
entirely possible.
it's like, oh yeah, it didn't work at this place, and then like an hour later I'm at a different store. It works there. It's like, why is that the case? Who knows?
Yeah.
It's fucking. There's so many different like possibilities it could be. It's just to be like first card it gets declined and just being like you're a fucking asshole basically is crazy to me.
Mhm.
I don't like. It's just like some decent respect for, you know, you don't know why it got declined. It could be anything. So I don't know. Crazy to me.
That shit was too loud for me, bro. Hell.
What are your thoughts, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I think first off, like what John said, the first decline, insane. I would have just been like, all right, like that already is. I'm usually like a 20% like kind of guy, just default.
Yeah.
Boom, down 5, down to 15, and then you know this. I don't know. It's just there's only so much you could take. I don't even know if I would do the extra step if I'm being honest. Maybe I'd go to the bartender and slip him cash, or be like, "You got a Venmo," but I'm already like tired of tip culture in general.
Oh,
I'm
I
just
hate
like,
it. I can't
Some of
stand
it's
it. Bro.
crazy.
I'm just like, yo, why is this legal? First off,
I'm picking up a goddamn donut at the store and there's like 20 cents or 20%. I'm like, what? What are you
I didn't even
talking
talk to anybody. I talked to an iPad and I got a tip. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
yeah, really, when it's like counter service and you're not like, if I have to refill my own drink, I feel like that's the service that I'm paying for usually at a sit down places. You know,
Yeah.
take my order and refill my drink. If I'm ordering at a counter and I'm fucking filling up my own drink, what have you done for me? And the only reason I tip is just because it's like, all right, well, I know y'all are getting screwed from, you know, just the restaurant business in
Yeah.
general. So like, yeah, I got to.
It's such a like snake eating its own tail. It's just like I feel the need to tip people because it's like I know you're getting fucked over by your business, but the more
Yes.
people tip, it's like they feel like they don't need to pay their employees a livable wage. It's just
Yeah.
like, fuck
Yeah.
me. It's so fucking annoying.
I would rather like the cost of the product, even if it's a little bit more expensive, it just so that way, like, you know, the wages
Yeah,
are
everyone's
better.
getting a livable
I would
wage.
much prefer that. I
Yeah.
know there are some like there's actually a restaurant that's opening up like across the street from me. It's their whole marketing thing is like, hey, we pay our staff like a really, really good wage and there's no tipping here.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the food is a little on the pricier end. I'm like, I'm actually fine with that because
Yeah.
what a lot of people, you know, cooking and all that, it's labor and it's difficult. So like, if you do go out to eat, you do expect some sort of like service because it is, it's a luxury for a lot of people, you know. So if I'm not getting some sort of service, then what the fuck am I really doing out here?
100%. And Reddit deemed not the asshole. And this commenter, a party in my pants.
Hell
Said,
yeah.
I used
Everyone's
to,
coming.
They said, I used to work retail at a store where people would try to scam us with checks by signing their name really hard and thick, crossing over the account number on the bottom. This would often cause the register to scan the check improperly. Or likewise, I worked at a restaurant where the occasional credit card would get declined. I would always simply say, I'm sorry, it seems like our system has an issue with the check or the magnetic strip on the back. Do you have an alternative form of payment? Don't blame the customer, blame the technology. The scammers would throw a fit and the legit customers would say, oops. And that's, I think, all you needed to do.
Yeah.
100%. That it's common courtesy. I think common courtesy is like both ways too, you know?
Yeah.
So
Because you don't know, like, how people are in their life, like what they're going through. If it's like, maybe they got that card maxed out and they're really on their last dollar and like they have another card or something like that. It's like, why treat people like shit if they haven't been shitty to you?
there's just so many predatory business practices. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Capitalism.
Oh, don't say that word.
The bad word.
It hurts.
All right. With that, we're going to end the episode. What did you think, Wikimaniacs? Give us a comment, like, subscribe. If you really like the show, check out our Patreon or YouTube members. Get 2 extra stories, no ads, and a bunch of other extra content coming to you all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Last few days that you can get the Gaycation merch. Maybe. It might be another week. Who knows?
We do need to design the July design.
We probably need to do a jump start from July, August, and September.
We really should just be ahead on designs.
Busy.
We got a Honka and mid scores in a video game merch.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that is true.
So maybe reach out to the people that created that on our Discord.
Yeah.
But anyway, so go to redditonwikishop.com, get the Gaycation merch. Last time until November to get that. And like we said before, it's going to the Trevor Project. Half the proceeds will be going to the Trevor Project, which is in dire need of it right now. So go check that out, redditonwikishop.com. Boys, is there anything else you want to shout out before we close out the episode?
I'm starving. Let's go. Bye.
Later. Thank you, John and Sean, for coming on today. And thank you, Wikimaniacs, for another amazing episode. We will see you on Monday. Bye.
Later.
Therapy.